I will admit though, your idea was indeed creative. Afterward, Woosung went around with Julia to introduce her to everyone. This is Julia White and she will be leading the Coconut Bank and Pay systems. Nice to meet you. I'm Hong Soo Bum. Nice to meet you. I'm Jang Guangchul. I'm Julia White. I used to work at JP Morgan until your boss hired me. After the introduction, Woosung said to everyone, as you all know, our company is now world famous. We have grown so much. Some think our growth rate will slow down. They say we have reached our limit. Woosung now only had 8 years of future knowledge left, but he wanted his empire to go on forever. But I disagree. Woosung paused for a dramatic effect. Everyone looked up to this man who created a business empire only in a year. Woosung continued, chat, bank, pay, and online store all need to grow further if we want to achieve global success. We are not there yet. Please continue working hard so we can reach that dream. It was a hard road for Woosung so far, and all this time, he never forgot his parents, especially his mother. Woosung visited his parents. It has been a while. When he arrived, he saw that his mother has prepared a feast for him. Wow, I think you made way too much food. You are a businessman, so you need to eat well. I assume you always eat out, right? You should be eating home-cooked meal. Woosung was a grown man with a successful business, yet in front of his mother, he still felt like a little boy. I must say, you are the best cook I know, Mom. So you should live with me then. But then no girl would want to marry me. What are you talking about? Do you know what people say to me? What? So many women with daughters have asked me to introduce you to them. I get many calls every day asking for you. How did they know your phone number? Suddenly, someone grabbed Woosung from behind. It was his father. You're here. I've been watching you on TV. Kim Woon-young grinned. Your father has been watching every channel that shows your face. He even recorded them so he can watch them again later. Really? Of course. You are the proud son of the Kang family. Woosung was happy to be with his family. His father asked him, so when we'll get married? I want to know too. Kim Woon-young added. Soon. I need to focus on my work a little while longer. You know how many employees depend on me? 120,000 people. I suppose. Besides, I need to be very careful of who I marry now. Many women will approach me only for my money. His parents looked concerned. His mother said to him, well, I trust you will find a good woman. Now, let's eat. But his father wasn't done. We need grandchildren. Kim Woon-young glared at her husband and said quietly, honey. And that was the end of the conversation. After dinner, Woosung and his parents sat in front of the TV with a plate of fruits. A program titled Generation Success started. The host announced. Today's successful company we want to talk about is Coconut. How did Coconut become bigger than Facebook? Why did Rick Warren, who is known not to invest in tech companies, bet on Coconut? The program showed clips of Woosung's headquarters and the people working. The host explained. The first reason is because the president of this company provides freedom to his employees and it comes to working schedule. Woosung felt embarrassed at such a corny comment. He closed his eyes, but his father clapped in excitement. That's right. That's how you get people to work efficiently. My son is the best. His mother agreed. Woosung has always been such a free spirit even as a child. The show continued with short interviews of the employees. Our CEO always emphasizes our freedom to choose. That is why we are the first company that doesn't have a set work hour. We can come and leave whenever we choose. Woosung's father clapped again. Wow, that's my son all right. What an innovative idea. Woosung continued to feel mortified, but his mother agreed again. I know. Woosung is a genius. His parents were happy to see their son being praised on TV. Woosung felt proud. The TV host continued. The second reason is because President Kang Woosung learns from his mistakes. Woosung's father exclaimed again, of course. A man needs to experience failure to succeed. His mother agreed again. Our son is like no other, right? Of course. After the show, Woosung returned home. He showered, and as usual, he sat in front of his computer. He checked his Bitcoin status. 4,581,401.4563 BTC. Thanks to the mining system developed in China, he could get 200,000 bitcoins every month. In a few years, Woosung knew he would reach 10 million coins. He continued to collect more bitcoins from different online forums. Things were going well, but Woosung continued to worry. What if the original creator, Satoshi, hacks into his system? Would keeping a large number of coins in one wallet be a problem in the future? What if the future changes and the price won't go up? Woosung had over 1,000 wallets, and the more coins he collected, the more worries he had. He also owned Bitmain. If things happened as he expected, he would be beyond rich. If I sell 4.5 million coins at $10,000, I will make $45 billion. If he sold it at $20,000, he would make $90 billion. If he included everything, such as coconut, KND, and DNK stocks, and buildings, Woosung couldn't even figure out how much money he would have at that time. Suddenly, Woosung's phone vibrated. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. The fourth mobile carrier business selection process will be announced. It was finally happening. The government has decided to initiate a process for selecting the fourth mobile carrier in order to reduce the cell phone cost for the public. It was one of the promises the current president has made, and he hopes to achieve it very soon. After the selection process is completed, the winning company will be awarded with a prepared frequency, and an auction will be held for 4G frequencies. Woosung turned off the TV and said to Jiang Guangchul, "We have $1 billion budget for X-Feed, so we should be okay. How about the frequency auction? If we want to take advantage of 4G, we will need 1.81 mHz. It will be easy because it will be a concurrent auction. The company that bid the most would win. But TK has a good funding power. Their yearly profit is $2 billion. We won't lose. How much are you thinking to bid? You know what winner's curse is, right?" Luckily, Woosung knew how much TK would bid. "Don't worry." Jiang Guangchul nodded. "Well, as long as you know what you're doing. It will be an amount we can afford. There is a rumor that it will be over $1 billion. Haha, $1 billion is nothing. We have more than that." Jiang Guangchul knew how much Woosung made recently, so he nodded. I guess. But until we actually win, please stay focused. You never know what might happen. Like the possibility of the existing 3 mobile carriers working together against us. And also the fact that an official named Choi Gi-jung from Korean Communications Commission is secretly helping another company to win. But you also have a good connection. You have Attorney Lee. Even the president himself can't help in certain situations. You just never know. I suppose. I asked him to make sure the process is done fairly. If this happens, we will win for sure. All right. The paperwork should be done in about 3 days. Thank you. Korean Communications Commission official Choi Gi-jung's office. Choi Gi-jung held a secret meeting with 2 members of the Liberal Party. Choi Gi-jung said, "We need to make Dae-young win this election. I trust that you will follow my lead." One member replied uncomfortably, "But Attorney Lee contacted us to make sure we conduct a fair process. I'm not sure what we can do to make sure Dae-young wins." You know exactly what you need to do. At Choi Gi-jung's anger, the 2 members remained silent. Choi Gi-jung continued, "I want a fair process too, and the fair process will result in Daeyeon winning. Got it? The two men nodded. After they left, Choi Gi-jung took out one of his cell phones. It was the one from Daeyeon Electronics. There was only one number saved on this phone. Choi Gi-jung called this number. A welcoming voice answered. "Hello, sir. I got it done." Thank you. I will not forget your help." Choi Gi-jung lowered his voice and replied, "But it will cost more than you thought. Don't you worry. I will have it ready." "All right. Thank you." After the call, Jang Hyunho, Daeyeon Electronics management team leader, visited Choi Taemin. "I got a call from Choi Gi-jung. He said he can get it done, but he will need more from us. That old man is so greedy. How much should I prepare?" Choi Taemin thought for a second. He didn't want to pay, but he answered, $200,000. Jang Hyunho warned him. "You can't be stingy in situations like this or he may go against us. He also needs to pay others too, so I really think you need to send him at least $500,000. "Really? Daeyeon isn't known for being stingy when it counts." "You mean my father is like that?" Jang Hyunho remained silent. "Do I need to choose my side now?" Jang Hyunho was originally Choi Gunwon's man. He had to now decide if he would remain loyal to the current chairman, or Choi Taemin, who could potentially be the next chairman of Daeyeon. Jang Hyunho answered slowly. "I will follow your order." "Smart man." After Jang Hyunho left, Choi Taemin's assistant entered. Choi Taemin ordered, "Make sure to monitor Jang Hyunho." "Yes, sir. I will have someone follow him. I need to do something or else I will never make it." The assistant became rigid. It sounded like Choi Taemin was planning something sinister. "He asked me recently if I am someone who makes Daeyeon money or who just spends the company money. What do you think? Our smartphone business is just starting, so it makes sense that we are at an investment stage. Besides, you are the one who is leading MC to success." "I know, but he is planning something against me. If I don't do something." The assistant thought quickly and answered, "Then I will find people to help us." Choi Taemin nodded in agreement. This was war. Late night KWLO meeting. When Woosung entered, people exclaimed, "Is that him? Wow, he looks good. He must work out. So he is being compared to Zuckerberg. That's right. I should have befriended him." The women gossiped, while the men looked at Woosung respectfully. So he is the next Daeyeon. Daeyeon must be nervous. Blue S is winning over the 1-2. Shin Semi was listening to the conversations. How could he not even call me once? She felt disappointed. Wyum Law Firm's lawyer ran to Woosung and greeted him respectfully. Hello sir." Woosung whispered to him, "Long time no see. I hope Young Jinsup's case is going as I requested." "Of course. I am following your order exactly." Before they could finish the conversation, another person approached Woosung. "Sir, how do you do?" "Oh, hello. Who are you?" I'm the second son of Doha Auto's CEO. This is my first time attending the meeting, so we haven't met yet." "Oh. Nice to meet you." Quickly, another man greeted Woosung. This went on for a while. Everyone wanted to make Woosung's acquaintance. It took over an hour for Woosung to say hello to everyone. Afterward, Woosung sipped on whiskey and looked around. He felt someone glaring at him and turned around to find Shin Semi standing far from him. Woosung bowed lightly but she turned away. Woosung ignored her rude behavior and continued to look around. Is Choi Gichul not coming today? Woosung wondered where he was and what he was doing. The reason why Woosung attended these meetings was to meet him. He didn't care about the other people and their incessant and useless questions. Suddenly, the door opened and he finally walked in. Choi Gichul. People didn't pay any attention to him and Choi Gichul frowned. He used to be the center of everyone's attention, but things have changed. Woosung walked toward him. People followed Woosung's move. Woosung greeted Choi Gichul. "Long time no see, sir." Choi Gichul took his hand and shook it. "Nice to see you again." Every time they met, it seemed like Woosung's status changed. And now, Woosung was finally superior to Choi Gichul. Choi Gichul could feel the change in the atmosphere at the meeting. Daeyong was no longer in power. Everyone was focused on one man, and it wasn't him. Kang Woosung. Choi Gichul shook Kang Woosung's hand rigidly. "It has been a while. I was hoping to see you sooner. We should get together with Young Jin Sup for a drink. He told me much about your Bitmain company. I hear it is a coconut coin exchange center." Woosung smiled brightly. "More specifically, it is a cryptocurrency dealership. If you are interested, please let me know. Your involvement is always welcome." Choi Gichul was ordered by Choi Jaitai to befriend Woosung, so he asked, "Could I hear the details?" Woosung nodded and took Choi Gichul to a private room. Woosung poured him a drink and said to him, "I heard you took over Daeyong Appliances department. I think we will be working together a lot in the future. Actually, we are discussing a new Android TV project. If it happens, we may need Coconut's help in installing apps. I thought Daeyong had its own Daeyong OS project, but I guess you chose to go with an Android TV instead. We are considering all of the options." Their conversation was mundane. This was not the Choi Gichul Woosung knew in his previous life. Choi Gichul was outgoing and cunning, but this man in front of him now was acting very passively. What made him change so much? Woosung asked Choi Gichul, "Work must be hard for you." Most of the work is done by my employees, so it's not bad." "Well, I do hear that Daeyong has great employees. I am envious. I don't think we can compare to Coconut." Something was very different. Woosung couldn't figure out why Choi Gichul changed. Choi Gichul asked Woosung, "Could you explain to me about the cryptocurrency? To understand it, you need to first know what blockchain is." "It is," Woosung explained in detail for 20 minutes using technical terms. "And this will become the leading technology for the future. I am not a programmer, so I'm afraid I don't quite understand." Woosung nodded. "I understand, but just remember, you need to move fast when it comes to technology." When Woosung explained seriously, Choi Gichul nodded. Woosung thought in secret. "I need to have him learn about the blockchain very slowly and get him to invest his wealth in Bitcoin when it is at its highest price." This was Woosung's ultimate goal. He said to Choi Gichul, "I think that's enough for today." Choi Gichul nodded quickly. He looked like he wanted to leave. They left the room, and everyone turned to Woosung again. Shin Semai's eyes followed Woosung. What did they talk about in the private room? Shin Semai felt frustrated. How could he not come to her? She was the one who introduced him to the club. She saw Woosung taking Lee Sunghyun to the private room. After 20 minutes, they came out with smiles. As soon as Woosung became available, people approached him. There was no space for Shin Semai to get to Woosung. Choi Gichul got into his car. Go to Nanhyun. When Choi Gichul laid back, his phone vibrated. The caller ID indicated that it was Choi Taemin's assistant. Hello, this is Choi Taemin's assistant. What do you want? If you look in the trunk, you will see a bag. You need to use it when you meet CEO Choi Jaitai today. What the hell are you talking about? Suddenly, the car stopped abruptly. What's with the bad driving today? Choi Gichul kicked the driver's chair, but there was no response. The assistant on the phone continued darkly. It's finally time for you to make a choice. Your life depends on it. It's easy. Tell Choi Jaitai that it's a new drug. You know he loves taking new stuff. The mess afterward will be taken care of. It will be simple. How about the chairman? We are taking good care of him, so don't worry. Make your choice. Choi Gichul swallowed hard. It was time. The next day. A piece of breaking news shocked the country. Daeyoung Group's chairman Choi Gun-won has been hospitalized due to stroke. No official heir has been decided, so the fate of Daeyoung is uncertain at this point. Vice President Choi Tae-min is currently at the hospital by his father's side. Woosung knew this was it. This must be why Choi Gichul changed. Woosung remembered this incident, but in his previous life, it happened 2 years later. The future was changing. But why would this change Choi Gichul? Woosung called Choi Jae-tae but there was no answer. He called Choi Gichul next. Choi Gichul answered quickly. Woosung said to him, "This is Kang Woosung. I am calling you about the news." "What about it?" "I just wanted to give you my condolences." "It's fine. I'm busy, so bye." Choi Gichul hung up. Woosung could feel it even during such a short call. His voice was trembling. Something was definitely happening. Choi Gichul was surprised at how calm he was. He actually felt free. This was easy. He was still at the place where Choi Jae-tae frequented. However, Choi Jae-tae was no longer there. A few hours ago, the masked men ambushed them and took Choi Jae-tae. In the morning, the news of Choi Gun-won's stroke was announced. He was impressed at Choi Tae-min's planning. But why did they leave me here? Choi Gichul tried to come up with a reason for it. No one knows about what has happened to Choi Jae-tae yet. It would look strange if 2 members of the family got involved in a medical emergency at the same time, so that must be it. Choi Gichul didn't regret what he did. It was Choi Jae-tae's fault for doing drugs. Choi Tae-min's office. Choi Tae-min was having a private conversation with his assistant. He did it. "So what should we do with Choi Jae-tae, sir?" "Wait a few days, then make an announcement that he overdosed after hearing the news of our father." "Yes, sir." "How is the board of directors feeling?" "They are ready to accept you as their new leader." "Spread the rumor about the father's will, but don't announce anything officially yet." "Yes, sir." Choi Tae-min walked to the window and enjoyed the view. Find Choi Jae-tae's replacement. Ask Gichul if he needs anything. Don't offer him, just ask, and after I become the new chairman, I want my first new business to be the mobile carrier. I will make sure it happens. We need to show that Daeyoung is still the best in the country. We can't lose to a small business like KND. Lee Sung-hyun called Woosung early in the morning. "President Kang, did you do something to offend Daeyoung?" "Not that I know of. The only thing I can think of is that Blue S did much better than their own smartphone. I got a call from the prosecutors. They said they got an order to investigate Coconut and KND. For what? Embezzlement, felony, and so on." Woosung didn't panic. "I guess the usual then. This could be bad for you. If they try, they can always find something. They tried last time with the tax audit, but I ended up getting a refund. I guess. So this time, I guess I will end up with the prosecutor's apology." Lee Sung-hyun didn't reply. Woosung continued, "I have developed new technologies. I am trying to reduce the cell phone cost for the public. I also built factories and hired so many people in this country, yet the government is doing its best to damage my reputation. I am going to have to seriously consider moving my company and factories to another country." Lee Sung-hyun swallowed audibly. Woosung was able to successfully list Coconut on Nasdaq. Moving his company to Silicon Valley actually would make sense. Blue S core technology was also being developed in Silicon Valley already. Lee Sung-hyun replied, I don't think you need to go that far. I am fine with any investigation as long as it is done fairly. I will cooperate as best as I can, but when I am found to be innocent, I will not let it slide this time." "I understand." By the way, I would like to start the Yongsan project sooner. Why, Yongsan project? Yes. The bigger my empire becomes, the harder it will be for the prosecutors to treat me like this. Lee Sung-hyun replied uncomfortably. It wouldn't be too late to start after the investigation, the mobile carrier business hasn't even started yet. Woosung frowned but his voice remained neutral. I understand. Alright. I will talk to you soon. After hanging up, Woosung called for Jang Guangchul. Sir, I just got a call that the prosecutor's office may investigate our company. Jang Guangchul's eyes widened. Woosung continued calmly, embezzlement, felony, etc. I guess they could come up with more stuff if they wanted. Jang Guangchul asked in a trembling voice, what are you talking about? I think this is Daeng's doing. They are known to control the justice system. Then we need to hire some lawyers first. It's only at the preliminary stage. They will probably start before the decision is made for the mobile carrier selection. Choi Gunwon is down, Choi Jaitai overdosed, so it must be Choi Taemin. Woosung nodded and replied, I think so. ITS Consortium is interested in the mobile carrier business as well and Daeyang is one of its investors. Should we bribe somebody too? If we do it now, they will find a way to use it against us. Don't panic when the investigation starts. You just need to focus on the mobile carrier business. Jang Guangchul felt thirsty. Woosung continued, we haven't done anything wrong, so don't worry. Jang Guangchul looked at Woosung questioningly. Woosung knew what he wanted to say. Don't worry about that. If they make a big deal about it, Daeyang will be implicated as well. However, Jang Guangchul was still concerned. Woosung did bribe a government official. Woosung assured him that all was fine. Jang Guangchul finally left. Woosung called Mayor Oh-hoon. They now had a close relationship that Woosung had his direct number. Oh-hoon answered, hello President Kang. Hello, sir. I meant to call you earlier when I returned to Korea. I know you've been busy, so don't worry. Thank you for understanding. Everything went well in America, so I would like to start on the Yongsan project right away. Woosung could guess why Oh-hoon sounded uncertain. Are you worried about the prosecutors? Sort of. My father always told me to avoid houses that were on fire. Really? Because my father always told me that you could learn who your true friend is when things got tough. Couldn't we wait till the investigation is over? It won't be long. Woosung thought for a second. He knew why Oh-hoon was acting this way, but he still didn't like it. You know how it will turn out already. But you never know. I understand what you're saying. Thank you for your patience. Woosung forced himself to sound light. Alright. Talk to you soon. So this is how he repays me. Woosung wasn't planning to keep Oh-hoon for long anyway. I will make him regret it. Woosung looked through his contact list and found Lee Ari's father's number. Lee Myunjin. He was the current governor of Gyeonggi province. Woosung asked Lee Ari to talk to her father for him in advance. When Woosung called, Lee Myunjin answered immediately. Woosung explained, I would like to talk to you about the Pangeo project. Lee Myunjin wanted to meet Woosung in person right away. Lee Myunjin. A Democratic Party member and the current governor of Gyeonggi province. You are thinking about moving your headquarters to Pangeo? Yes. I will start with Coconut, and then X-Feed, which will be the next mobile carrier. If that's all you want to talk about, then we didn't have to meet in person in such a hurry. You must have another reason. AI. I am planning on an event where AI plays the game of Go with the best professional Go player Lee Sudol. I would like this to take place in Pangeo Techno Building. This will be the game of the century. Lee Myunjin took a sip of water and listened while Woosung continued, if you could attend, it will make the event so much more special. After the game, I will announce the plan for the Space Research Lab in Pangeo. It will be a joint venture with SpaceX. Would this be enough of a reason to meet you in person? Lee Myung-jin took another sip as if he was getting thirsty. That should be enough. This was huge. Coconut was compared to Facebook. If it moved to his province, it would attract many other businesses. Not to mention, the game event plus the Space Research Lab. He would be a very well-remembered governor. Woosung added slowly, I first offered these projects to Seoul, but it was rejected because there is an ongoing internal investigation on my company. Lee Myung-jin paused. Prosecutors were on KND. He wasn't aware of it yet. Woosung asked, what do you think? Lee Myung-jin thought carefully. This could the chance of a lifetime or a poisoned apple. Woosung asked again, do I look like someone who would be involved in illegal businesses? Lee Myung-jin couldn't answer right away. It was a difficult choice. Woosung added, a true friend will help a friend in need. I don't trust politicians, but if someone shows me sincerity, I will be a good friend. Woosung looked straight into his eyes and added once more, and I have the resources to help in every way. Lee Myung-jin knew very well who Woosung was. Woosung continued, I am not asking for your help. I don't need anything from you other than, I just want fairness. I have heard a lot about you from Ari. She said you are a very savvy businessman. Are you thinking that I could be the next president of Korea? Is that why you're offering me these projects? Even if I get elected, I won't consider myself to be in your debt. Woosung laughed. You haven't even finished your term as the governor, yet you are already talking about the presidential election. Then why are you offering me this opportunity? Woosung knew who the next president would be. It was Park Hae-jung of the Liberal Party. She would be the first female Korean president. Woosung answered, I thought about becoming the kingmaker, but I realized that the presidency isn't something you can make as an individual. Woosung was planning to help Oh-hoon become the next president, but Oh-hoon lost his trust now. Woosung added, so I thought of you. After Park Hae-jung, Lee Myung-jin would be the president. Woosung continued, again, I'm not asking for anything. I just thought that you are a good person and that you could make Korea better for everyone. So, do you want to be on my side? Lee Myung-jin continued to stare at Woosung. After a few minutes, he finally answered. I trust my daughter. Let's work together. Even with the internal investigation. I am well aware of how the prosecutors make things up to fit their plan. I will always know the truth, and that is enough for me. They shook hands. Xfeed to compete for the fourth mobile carrier position with a budget of $15 billion. President Kang Woosung's coconut under investigation. The media aired the news of Woosung continuously. When Jang Guangchul arrived at the communication building to file the paperwork for Xfeed, the reporters swarmed him aggressively. Is it true that President Kang was involved in an embezzlement scam? There is a rumor that Coconut's fund was illegally used to promote Xfeed. Is this true? Do you think this scandal will affect your chance at the fourth mobile carrier business? President Kang Woosung claimed that $15 billion came from his own personal account, but the public is having a hard time believing it. What do you think? Jang Guangchul was overwhelmed, but he replied calmly, these are all false rumors and accusations. I trust in our justice system to reveal the truth. All we want is a fair process. Jang Guangchul then glared at the pushy reporters and continued, the $15 billion for Xfeed came from our president's personal fund. There were no illegal activities involved. The photos of Jang Guangchul glaring at the reporters became popular online. Woosung laughed and showed them to him. Look. You're nicknamed the Laser Jang. Jang Guangchul blinked. Let me see. There were several photos from different angles where Jang Guangchul looked angry. One of the pictures was even used on an article with a title, Jang Guangchul declares innocence of his company and CEO. Jang Guangchul complained, this is all your fault. You must have been very angry. You saw what happened. The media is releasing biased news and it's working. We may not get the mobile carrier business because of this. As long as the process is done fairly, we will be okay. You can't be sure. Woosung licked his lips and asked, do you remember the most important component on the application form? Financial status and ability. We wrote $15 billion and provided the necessary paperwork for proof. That's useless. Official Choi Gi-jung has huge influences and he is helping Dae-young. But this is an open public process. There are many eyes watching. If he does anything, it could backfire. Woosung smiled mysteriously and continued, it has been a few days since the prosecutors started the investigation, yet they still haven't come to us for questioning or office search. This means that they don't have anything on us. Korea Communications Commission. The judges were looking through the application forms to assess them. This is definitely the winner, right? One of the judges asked and the other one nodded. It's true. $15 billion budget is the highest of them all. But we were asked to make Daeang's ITS win. They only wrote down $5 billion though. What should we do? We need to follow the rules, or else we will lose our jobs. They were asked by such a high-ranking official for a favor though. If they did it for him, they could get huge promotions. However, one of the judges shook his head. Don't even think about it. It's not worth it. They continued to do their paperwork late into the night. The final result was sent to Choi Gi-jung. After reading it, Choi Gi-jung murmured in awe, $15 billion. He was shocked at the number and the fact that it was all in cash, and it was truly from Kang Woosung's personal fund. After contemplating, Choi Gi-jung made a call. It was answered quickly, hello, sir. How are you? I was reading the report and found something interesting. Huh, really? You wrote the available fund for X-Feed to be $15 billion. It's such a huge amount of money. Woosung replied calmly, some may think it's a lot of money, while to some, it's nothing. Is it really true that it's all in cash? Are you saying that it's not part of your real estate or loan from the bank with collateral? That's right. I know how expensive this business can be, so I decided on a generous budget. Choi Gi-jung trembled and replied, you must be very confident in this project to spend so much money on it. I think you must have heard about my business successes, right? Choi Gi-jung couldn't deny it, but he also knew that Woosung was in a difficult situation. He said knowingly, when you have such a fast-growing business, you often face difficulties. I am very good at solving these problems, so if you ever need my help, you are welcome to ask. Woosung understood immediately. Choi Gi-jung was asking for a bribe. However, Woosung knew that unless the prosecutors made things up, he would come out innocent in the end. I would appreciate your advice, but I only trust people who are on my side. Choi Gi-jung became silent. After a few seconds, he replied, as the head of Korea Communications Commission, I am on no one's side. Then please call me when you have the result. I am always ready. Woosung hung up. Choi Gi-jung frowned angrily. That bastard. However, $15 billion, there was no way he could make Daeang's ITS win this process. Choi Gi-jung made a call to Jang Hyun-ho. Kang Woosung wrote down $15 billion. Jang Hyun-ho was speechless. Choi Gi-jung continued, ITS wrote $5 billion. I can't do anything about it unless you have at least over $10 billion. Jang Hyun-ho answered quickly, that's not possible. Then all you can do is to wait and hope the prosecutors come up with something bad on Kang Woosung. And if that happens, will ITS be chosen? Choi Gi-jung sighed and replied, even if I choose your company with $5 billion budget, the government won't give the final approval. It's just not enough. They may choose not to select any company then. All right. After hanging up, Jang Hyun-ho sighed deeply. It was becoming more complicated than he thought. Seoul Central Prosecution Special Investigations Min Ji-eun has been working overtime for the past 2 weeks. He said to his co-worker, "I'm worried that we will get in trouble for overzealous and unnecessary investigation. If we haven't found anything, it must be that Kang Woosung is running his company ethically. Didn't he also pass the tax audit recently? You mean the one where he actually got a refund?" "Yes, and you know how thorough those tax guys are." Min Ji-eun swallowed bitterly. "But if we don't find anything, we will get in trouble with our boss. Then should we finally make something up? But if we get caught doing that, we will lose our jobs." Suddenly, another investigator walked in. Sir, you need to turn on the TV." "Why? What's happening?" "President Kang Woosung is making an announcement regarding this investigation. The problem is..." "Yes. They just held a game where their AI won the first round of Go against Lee Sudol. Their technology is now proven to be the best in the world. If we continue this investigation unnecessarily, we will be bashed by the public. It looks especially bad because they just recently went through the tax investigation." Min Ji-eun turned the TV on quickly. Woosung was speaking confidently in front of the cameras. "We have made a big step towards an exciting future today. Our AI has won the first round of the complex game against the best human player in the world. I am proud that this technology has been developed in Korea by Koreans. However, with the recent investigations, I am beginning to feel uncomfortable in Korea as a tech business CEO. So after this event, I will be seriously considering moving Coconut and my other companies to another country. If I knew how hard it was to run businesses in Korea, I would have never returned from Silicon Valley." After his speech, Woosung left. The reporters screamed their questions, but he was already gone. The media went wild. People were divided in their opinions. Korean government is the worst. All rich people are the same. They make money unethically. AI won the game of Go. This is unbelievable. If you create innovative technology, does it make it okay for you to be corrupt? It is only at an internal investigation stage. It's still possible that he is innocent. Don't people remember the tax investigation? He got a refund. After the game, Lee Myunjin visited Woosung. "I asked my party to help you out. They will try to make the investigation as fair as possible. Thank you. Unfortunately, the majority of the public still doesn't see you kindly. I guess this is understandable. You are young and rich, and people often feel jealous of people like you. But they will change their minds in time. After the second and third round, they will become shocked and awed." Lee Myunjin frowned and asked, "Are you saying that Lee Sudol will lose?" Woosung nodded and replied, "Our AI is continuing to improve every second with the help from my developers. Lee Sudol can't do that. The human limitation is a sad thing. Coconut will win the game. As long as the prosecutors don't make things up, I will be found innocent." Min Ji-eun bit his lips. His superior sat in front of him and asked, "What did you find?" "Nothing." "Are you serious? If I investigate you right now, what do you think I'll find?" Min Ji-eun knew the answer his superior wanted. "Something." "That's right. Everyone has something to hide. A big corporation like this should have plenty. But it already went through the tax investigation, so their financials are clean, and we couldn't find any proof that the CEO touched the company funds. Besides, the documents we have aren't enough. We need to get a warrant to search his offices if we want to find something." His superior raised his voice in frustration. "Why can't you just make something up with what you have? We need something suspicious to get a warrant." Min Ji-eun became uncomfortable. He knew what he was being asked to do. "Are you telling me to illegally plant something? Don't you want a promotion? I am giving you a chance, so just take it. If you don't, you will be demoted and relocated to a small province." Min Ji-yun was frustrated. He didn't become a prosecutor to do such an unethical and illegal thing. He felt angry. This wasn't the way he wanted. He replied, I can't do what you are asking. It's wrong, so do whatever you want to do to me. If you have nothing more to say, I have to go. He quickly stood up and left. What the hell? Who do you think you are? But Min Ji-yun was already gone. When Min Ji-yun arrived at his own office, there was a man in an expensive suit waiting for him. Min Ji-yun asked rudely, why the heck are you here? Is that how you treat a good friend? What friend? The man took Min Ji-yun to a quiet place and asked, how long are you going to work here with such a meager salary? Why are we still talking about this? $1 million. You will be given $1 million as a signing bonus. Your yearly salary will be $400,000 for the first 5 years. In 5 years, you will be making $3 million. As a Daeyoung lawyer, you will be respected everywhere you go. I said no. Gosh, you're an idiot. If you will keep talking about this, don't bother coming. You got my phone number, right? If you change your mind, call me. This world is run by money. The government may change, but the rich will always remain rich. That's how it works. After the man left, Min Ji-yun sat down and murmured, I can't give up my morals. Coconut Eye wins the second game as well. 3 out of 5 rule applies. If this AI wins the next game, it will be the ultimate winner. Is AI really the future? The entire world was watching the game. America's CNN, China's CCTV, England's BBC, France's AFP, and Japan's NHK. They all gathered to live stream the game between the AI and the human. Despite the internal investigation, Coconut stock price continued to soar. And finally, on the third day, it happened. Just as Woosung predicted, the AI won the game. Woosung was interviewed afterward. Some say that humans lost, but I don't think so. Coconut Eye was created by humans, so I consider this a victory for the humankind. With this, we are one step closer to a better future. The possibilities for Coconut Eye are endless. Woosung continued calmly, and as I promised before, the rest of the scheduled game will continue. There are still 2 more games left, so stay tuned. After his speech, there was a Q&A session. International reporters asked about the future of AI, but Korean reporters were more interested in the ongoing investigation. One reporter asked, do you have an official statement regarding this internal investigation? I have never done anything illegal. Woosung felt slightly guilty for lying. Another reporter asked, are you confident that the result will be in your favor? Yes, and if they find something on me, then I guarantee that they made it up. It would be a conspiracy against me. As you know, Coconut underwent tax investigation very recently. And what was the result? We got a refund. Woosung paused for a breath and continued, some people may be wondering where the fund for X-Feed came from. I know there is a rumor that I illegally used the company money, but it's not true. It came from my own personal account. I haven't used any company money. More reporters raised their hands, but Woosung had already left the stage. After returning to his room, Woosung was greeted by Lee Myunjin. I just got a call that the prosecutors are panicking. Makes sense. You were right, President Kang. I think they are being pressured to make something up. I am 100% innocent. Lee Myunjin looked at Woosung proudly. He has met many businessmen before, but Woosung was the first one that seemed ethical. Woosung's phone rang. Excuse me. His phone has been ringing for a while now. When he checked the caller ID, it was Lee Sung-hyun. Woosung answered. Before he could say anything, Lee Sung-hyun explained frantically, I used all my connections to find out what's going on and I learned that they indeed are trying to make something up. Now, it gets even more interesting. The main prosecutor in charge is being pressured but apparently, he is resisting it. So this means that you are innocent. Didn't I already tell you that? Huh, and of course I believed you from the beginning, but I was just worried about the whole situation. Alright. Lee Sung-hyun could hear the coldness in Woosung's voice. He asked, "Are you upset?" "Not really. My businesses are going great. The only thing is..." "Yes. I realized how hard it is to build trust." Lee Sung-hyun remained quiet for a while. Finally, he asked, "Is that why you are spending time with Lee Myunjin?" Woosung laughed. "Huh, it's just for business. Shouldn't you be talking to me about those businesses?" "Alright. We should meet in person." After arranging a meeting, Woosung hung up. When he returned to the room, Lee Myunjin asked, "Was that Attorney Lee?" Lee Myunjin had a very good intuition. After a brief hesitation, Woosung replied, "Yes. He wants to work with me again." "Work." So I told him that as long as the investigation is completed fairly and transparently, I will work with him. Just then, Lee Myunjin's assistant walked in. "Sir, it's time to announce the Space Research Lab project." "Alright." Lee Myunjin turned to Woosung. "Let's go together." Woosung stood up. While watching TV, Oh Hoon suddenly stood up. Lee Myunjin was on TV with an announcement. "Today, we witnessed the success of Coconut AI. We are now closer than ever to the future where helper robots are available to everyone. AI is the key technology for the future and Gyeonggi province will be the place where it will be developed. The primary Pangeo is already the place of various tech companies. The secondary Pangeo will also become the next space research center thanks to President Kang Woosung." This was what Woosung offered to Oh Hoon before. Oh Hoon gritted his teeth and threw his smartphone on the ground. Woosung met with Lee Sung-hyun. There was only one more game left between Coconut Eye and Lee Sudol. The entire nation was talking about this event. Lee Sung-hyun was also interested. He said to Woosung, "Even my father is enjoying the game. He is wondering who will win the final game. My system won't lose. So Coconut will win?" "Yes. Well, if you say so." Lee Sung-hyun looked at Woosung quietly. He licked his lips. "I heard that you put down $15 billion as your budget for the mobile carrier business. I guess it makes sense that you have that much cash available." The Coconut stock price was continuing to climb, which meant Woosung's wealth was increasing fast. Lee Sung-hyun continued, "I also heard KND is worth over $80 billion. With all your other businesses, you are probably the richest businessman in Korea. I am flattered. You are such an amazing businessman, and on top of that, you are also ethical. I am pleasantly surprised again. I can't believe the prosecutors couldn't find anything. I believe in transparency when it comes to running a business." I like it. Now, do you know the budget Daeyoung submitted on their application? I know it can't be $15 billion. Lee Sung-hyun nodded. That's correct. If things go smoothly, X-Feed will be selected, but, Lee Sung-hyun glared at Woosung and continued, "I don't like what I am hearing about you nowadays. Are you referring to me spending time with Lee Myunjin? I am just being a smart businessman. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right?" Lee Sung-hyun continued to look at Woosung in the eyes. His expression was unhappy. Woosung continued quickly, I think you have misunderstood the situation. I understand why you did it as a company, but what does it matter at this point? What really counts is the present situation and what we do with it. I am a businessman. I give and take as needed. I think you are overthinking the situation. Do you blame me? Our approval rating is dropping, the media and the public are starting to see my party negatively. President Lee Park-sung's approval rating was now below 40%. Lee Sung-hyun continued, "This fourth mobile carrier business can help my party. If we can drop the cell phone bills for the public. I feel the same way. Lee Sung-hyun lowered his voice and murmured, and I thought that is how things would happen, but it feels different now. Our relationship doesn't feel positive. Woosung knew how to answer. I have been very busy lately, so perhaps I haven't been as attentive as I should have been. That's why I prepared something special for you. Money. Woosung was right. As soon as he mentioned the bribe, Lee Sung-hyun brightened. Ha ha ha, really? You shouldn't have. Woosung hated him, but this was how things worked. He added, and I have one more thing to tell you. Huh, go ahead. You can tell me anything. Woosung thought darkly. I need to end this relationship soon. Next was a meeting with Oh Hoon. He also looked unhappy. I saw the news. The deal you offered me is now given to Lee Myunjin. Technically, it's not the same deal. I am not planning to develop any housing in Pangeo. But the main thing was the space research lab. That was the most important part. Woosung smiled mysteriously and replied, but I have an even better option for you. Oh Hoon brightened a little. Can I hear about it? What technology is the center of attention in Korea right now? AI. I think it is the best option for Seoul. To be honest, a space research lab requires a huge piece of land and Yongsan was not quite big enough. Oh Hoon became excited and asked, so you are offering to build the AI development complex in Yongsan? And also robotic development. I think this is a better deal. What do you think? He couldn't help himself. Oh Hoon grinned widely. Ha ha ha, of course. It's going to be sensational. So now you believe me? Oh Hoon flinched. He replied quietly, ha, ha ha. I looked into the investigation, and it turns out you are indeed innocent. I am amazed at your ethics. So you didn't believe me at first. Oh Hoon looked at Woosung awkwardly. Woosung continued, every business requires trust for it to succeed. I thought I helped you enough during your last election to gain your trust. I know how hard you worked for me. But your recent treatment of me has been very unpleasant. I believed in you, but I was just worried about the prosecutors. Give and take. I told you how our relationship should be when we first met. Do you remember? Oh Hoon nodded. Woosung continued, so I think it's your turn to show me something so you can gain my trust. Oh Hoon's eyes wavered. After a few seconds of silence, Oh Hoon asked, what can I do for you? Do you know the Hyundai apartment in Apgujeong? Oh Hoon nodded. It was where the wealthiest of Korea lived. It was an old building built in the 70s but inside was renovated luxuriously. It was also where Woosung currently lived. What about it? The plan for rebuilding it keeps coming up, but nothing has come out of it so far. Oh Hoon frowned. He knew what Woosung would ask. You want me to get you this project? It will be good for Seoul. With a new apartment, it will stabilize the housing market further. It will go hand in hand with the Yongsan project. You want both the Yongsan and Apgujeong project. Woosung smiled and replied, I will be incorporating the latest AI technology to make it into the newest smart home. Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh Hoon swallowed and asked, but you said before that you aren't familiar with the actual construction business. I am planning to buy a construction company named Daenom Constructions. Woosung had answers to all of Oh Hoon's objections. When Woosung returned to his office, Jang Guangchul asked, how did it go? Very well. They were both interested. So after we get selected as the fourth mobile carrier, we will buy Daenom Constructions for about $3 billion. With this company, we will carry out Pangeo, Yongsan, and Apgujeong projects. Daenom is currently undergoing bankruptcy, so we should be able to buy it cheap. What would happen afterwards then? Such big construction projects can fail so easily. If we create solid smart homes, it should be very profitable. If it goes well, we can even start an international construction company. You are thinking about going into China and America. Southeast Asia too. With our NK Entertainment celebs, we can promote our businesses easily and effectively. Jiang Guangchul whistled, wow, this is getting big fast. We will eventually become one of the biggest companies in the world. Are things working out as you saw in your dreams? Yes, and I am telling you that 2011 will be even busier for us. You better get ready. 2010 was almost over and Woosung knew many big events that would occur next year. Choi Tae-min was unhappy. The mobile carrier business and the embezzlement investigation on Coconut were all going wrong. Why can't people do their jobs right? I paid so much money for them. Choi Tae-min's primary assistant Chun Jisoo responded, we are continuing to pressure the prosecutors. As for the mobile carrier selection, Choi Gi-jung informed us that there is nothing he can do about it. He is continuing to let us know what is happening with the process though. Choi Tae-min said to Chun Jisoo angrily, do you think I called you in to hear that? Get me the results I want. Get them done. The budget difference is too big, sir. ITS wrote down $5 billion while Xfeed wrote $15 billion, so. Chun Jisoo couldn't finish his sentence after Choi Tae-min kicked him in the knee. He bit his lips to endure the pain silently. Choi Tae-min said to him angrily, get the judges to change the scoring system so the available fund isn't as important.